Hello, Goddess. Welcome to the second episode of the Childfree Goddess Podcast, a podcast made for and by a childfree woman to empower you in your childfree choice wherever you are in your journey. My name is Wilmarie Hernandez. I'm a transformational life coach for childfree women, creator of the Instagram community Life Without Kids, the Kid-Free Blueprint, the Childfree Women's Circle community in Discord, and the Childfree Sisterhood group program. Before we start, I would like to invite you to take a couple of breaths, relax, maybe go grab your favorite drink, and chill with me. I want this time we spend together to add good energy to your day. Today, I'm feeling very excited because tomorrow I'll start a new journey with a group of childfree women inside the Childfree Sisterhood group program. This will be the third round I teach since I launched the program 7 months ago, and each group is so unique and powerful. I am never the same person after going through it. During the next 3 months, we'll go deep into the history, psychology, and mythology of womanhood, our child-free choice, and how to build genuine sisterhood from the inside out. I say from the inside out because in order to build real sisterhood with other women, we must start with ourselves. There's no other way. The deeper we can connect, see, and love ourselves, the deeper we can do so with other women. Now, in order to build sisterhood with ourselves, we must see ourselves in our wholeness and rescue those parts of our womanhood we have rejected, hidden, or forgotten. In psychology, they call these feminine archetypes. And inside the Childfree Sisterhood program, we meet them through the mirrors of the Greek goddesses. Which brings me to the topic I want to talk about today, which is, who is this Childfree goddess I talk so much about? Why did I call this podcast the Childfree Goddess? And why my insistence in calling myself and childfree women goddesses? Well, in the last episode, I told you about how I came to the realization that my childfree choice was as natural, wise, and sacred as birthing children. This is something that I felt and deeply believed. It wasn't something someone else told me. I mean, let's be honest. When has anyone ever called you a childfree goddess or told you that your childfree choice was wise, divine, and worthy of celebration? I certainly have never been told so. This was a felt certainty, a conclusion I arrived at after a specific combination of studies, lived experiences, and spiritual awakenings. Now, have you heard that quote by Persian poet Rumi? What you seek is seeking you. Well, that is exactly what happened to me. Because right after I had this deep realization about my childfree choice being something sacred, I stumbled upon some information that had been there all along and I hadn't seen. An incredible story quietly hidden among the heroes, epic battles, and straight up insane stories of Greek mythology. Of course, I have read about Greek mythology in the past, but it never clicked until now. When I realized that there were goddesses in ancient Greek mythology who never had kids and who were worshipped by everyone, I was shocked. How did I not notice this? I remember reading about Greek mythology growing up, but the fact that there were child-free goddesses in Greek mythology never stood out. Nobody pointed it out. As I started searching, I learned about Greek goddesses who didn't have children, but there is one goddess that stood out to me. Her name? Hestia. Hestia is a Greek goddess that not many people know or talk about because, opposite to most characters in Greek mythology, she had no drama. She never took part in any disputes or wars. The central story in her myth is that, contrary to most goddesses in Olympus, Hestia did not want the traditional life women were expected to follow. And after surviving a couple of attempted rapes, she asked Zeus to grant her two wishes. One, to never have to get married, and two, to never have children, which, very surprisingly, Zeus granted. This wasn't common for goddesses, let alone mortal women living under a patriarchal Greek society. For there to be a goddess who not only dared to ask for this, but also have her wish granted is extremely powerful. To me, she is the Childfree Goddess. She knew exactly what she wanted. She knew she wanted something different. She was outspoken about it, and she was so rooted in her truth that even Zeus respected it. When I read about Hestia, it felt like coming home. Like, of course, I'm not crazy. Of course, this is a natural way of being a woman. And of course, I'm an effing goddess. To me, this was it. This was the proof I needed to anchor the truth I felt inside of me. This was the evidence that even thousands of years ago, even in a patriarchal society, the archetype of the wise, child-free woman existed. And not only it existed, but it was honored and worshipped among all the other gods and goddesses. Now, when I thought that this couldn't get any better, I learned even more incredible information about Hestia. Her myth doesn't really have any dramatic stories. She didn't care for that. She wanted to dedicate her life and powers to her inner world. But this didn't mean she was isolated or sent away. She actually was one of the 12 original Olympians, a group of the most powerful gods and goddesses in Olympus. She was known as the protector of the family and political community. When Zeus granted her the wish of pretty much doing whatever she wanted, he also made her the most honored goddess, meant to receive the richest part of sacrifices. Every town and every home must have her at its center in the form of the hearth, where the fire must always be burning. So Hestia is a fire divinity. Her symbol was the hearth and its fire. It was stated that she must be worshipped at the family hearth in each home and at the public hearth in every town or city. It was said that a house could not become a home until Hestia was placed in the center and worshipped. So Hestia is an archetype of inner centeredness and inner wisdom. I was mind blown after learning this. This was a goddess who consciously and voluntarily chose to be child-free and was revered by everyone. Every house and town worshipped her. Nobody thought of her as less than other goddesses for not having children. She was seen as wise and as a symbol of the inner sanctuary. When I learned this story, I was shocked. Here we have an ancient society worshipping a child-free goddess in every home and town as the most normal thing ever. Because Greeks, even as patriarchal and misogynist as they were, they, maybe even unconsciously, understood that a woman's choice to not have children was also a sacred part of the whole. And this is how the Childfree Goddess was born in my heart and now as my mission. As a reminder that your choice and your existence is sacred and worthy of respect, love, and admiration. So let this podcast be a reminder of that every time you listen to it. I honestly can spend hours and hours talking about Hestia, her symbols, and how she mirrors the modern child-free woman. And we actually go super deep into this inside the Childfree Sisterhood program. So I encourage you to check it out and join us for the next round. As always, it's been a pleasure spending this time with you today. Remember to sign up for the free virtual Childfree Women's Circle in Discord. And to learn more about my offerings, visit www.childfreegoddess.com. Now let's take a deep breath as we say goodbye. I hope you take some time this week to connect with your inner Hestia. And before going to bed tonight, remember to write yourself a love note, listing at least one thing you did today you want to thank yourself for, and one thing you want to forgive yourself for. Remember that sisterhood starts within, and you deserve to receive the love you so selflessly give to everything around you. Until next time, Goddess.